Yo guys, I'm HP and this is Dr. Pink, and today we're going to talk about beautiful minor blues guitar licks. And in this tutorial I'm going to show you one chorus of minor blues guitar licks, and we're going really into the analysis and the understanding where these licks come from, which playing technique is used, and what the theoretical background is, because that's the way, from my perspective, you have to start working with licks. It's not just playing them. I mean, it's cool if you can play them, but if you have no clue what you're doing, then they're useless. So this, I'll show you what we're going to do today. And so on. This sounds easy and smooth, but there's in fact a lot of meat on this stuff. So how do we start working with this stuff? Understanding is the way to mastering something. So you need to understand what you're doing, in which situation, which technique is used, which is the timing background, and then you put everything together and you start to optimize the whole thing and work on each of the parts to get this thing done. I mean, it sounds quite easy like this, but there are so many different little things which are part of it, and that's what we're going to check out. So the first thing when you start working on a track is you figure out, what do we have? You can already hear it. It's a shuffle groove. So when we have a shuffle groove, then the basis of shuffle groove are triplets, meaning 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So this is the beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. These are triplets. And since we are on 60 BPM, which is really slow, so triplets are. You probably also want to play something faster. So the next step is double time, means 6 notes per beat, and we're on 60 BPM, that's not so fast, but you need to get a feeling for this is called sextols, okay? So we get a feeling for sextols. That were sextols. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get a feeling for that. So that will be the preparation thing to see if you can master that, okay? Triplets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, sextol. Quarter notes. So you need to be able to switch between those timing values, and if you can't, work on it. I can tell I work on this stuff literally every day, so it's, you know, it's an ongoing process. Good. Next thing is, now instead of just playing plain pentatonics over this track, which you could do, of course, that's nothing wrong against that, but maybe you want to develop your playing style a little bit more, then you need to understand what is the chord progression. That's the next step. Before you even start playing, next step is, what is the chord progression? Which are the modes which are applied? We figure it out. 4 bars of A minor 7, E minor, 4 bars of E minor 7, 2 bars of A minor 7, 2 bars of E minor 7 again, 1 bar of C major 7, 1 bar of B7, 1 bar of E minor 7, and we end up with 1 bar of B7. So this is the classic form of a minor blues, which comes in like 80% of the cases. So you need to understand it, and now we check out the modes, what exactly can be done here on the fretboard. Alright, we're working here in this position. So we're playing, since it's a minor blues, of course, we're playing E minor scale, which is this one here. Also check out this 3-note per string pattern, which are basically the same notes, but it's a different type of playing, and you probably always get the idea if you play 3-note per string. Sextols are easy because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's symmetric. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can do any type of sextol runs if you wish so, and it's quite easy. So that's one essential thing why we also do 3-note per string patterns, but not only. So now we're starting with the licks, and we analyze everything en détail. En France, en Suisse, on parle aussi de français, so je peux étudier en français. So now let's do. We're starting with this phrase here. What is this lick here? We are playing, starting on the 5th note of the, and we slide in here. We are on E minor. We slide on the F sharp, which is the 9. So we. And when we want to have this really smooth minor blues sound, we really focus on 9s. So, and we're starting with a figure which goes from up down, which is also nicer to open instead of always opening from down to up. You could also do something like this, but this is quite common. We're doing the opposite now. So an opening phrase, now we need an answer. And now we're doing a little sextol run. Quite an easy one. We're just playing the E minor, the E minor 7 arpeggio, and we resolve again on the 9. So 2, 3. Now here, if you want to do it really smooth, you can consider doing it with economic picking, which is downstroke, upstroke, down, down, up, down, up. But you can also do it with alternate picking if you wish. So that's up to you. So motif 1, now we need an answer. We do something really simple. We do the opening phrase again. Do the answer, the same answer again. Okay? And then let's do it together with the backing track. See how this whole thing sounds. Oh, I forgot. And literally all opening phrases in blues start on count 4 or 4 and before the first bar starts. So the entry phrase starts on count 4. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, I made a little mistake. It already switches to A minor now. So now we do the same entry phrase, but instead of sliding up here, we slide here. Why? Because this is the 5th of the A minor. So we adapt to the chord. And we are following the chord progression, which is, if you want to really go into cool stuff, you need to follow the chord progressions. You need to be able, while you play, know where you are. So, as you can already see, there's not much happening on the fretboard, but there's a lot happening in your mind and in your mind setting. The mind setting is the most important thing in music, and also hearing the music. It's not what many people think. It's here on the fretboard. That's just an expression of your mindset. So if your mindset is empty, what happens on the fretboard is also empty. That's what a teacher of mine told me when I wanted to study music. I came there for rehearsal and for an audition. I played. I thought it was cool. He laughed at me and said, "It sounds nice, but it doesn't make any sense." That's why the mindset changes the perception for just noodling around on the fretboard to make sense what you're doing. That's why I'm explaining this stuff to you. Okay, now we're going to aim. And now we need a similar answer, but we adapt the run to the A minor. So we start here on the same here. And now for A minor 7, it will be this arpeggio. This is A minor 7 arpeggio in the same position. And instead we could end it here on the A, but since before we ended on the 9th of the chord, we also end on the 9th of the chord here. So you do this run in sextones. And if you want to do economy picking, it's down, up, down, up, down, down, down. I would recommend economy picking because it makes the whole thing more fluent, but it's up to you what you want to do. So, as you can see, till now we only have a few notes, but there's a lot of mindset stuff happening and creating a whole thing which is consistent in itself. That makes the big difference, okay? Now we're coming to the final phase of the chorus. Now we're going to the C major 7 chord, and here we're taking this C major chord as a reference for what we want to do. By the way, this was also the run in the A minor, so we connect the run before with the C major 7 arpeggio. Now we make a reverse thing, just down the arpeggio, and then so we make C major. This is C major 9 arpeggio, and now comes the B7. On the B7 we have another mode. We have this one here. This one is called Fugue in Natural 3, or you can also call it E harmonic minor, which would be. But I prefer to analyze it from the point of B, so this is Fugue in Natural 3. This will be this scale here. That doesn't mean you need to noodle around the scale. That means that's the material which you can use. In this case, we're using. And this resolves from. As you can hear the chords, and you can also hear the motifs, which are just moving in the scales. I already told you before, the mindset is the most important thing, and there you put in your stuff, okay? And then we do the final thing. Again, the first motif to close the circle of the whole chorus. We start the whole circle with the motif. We develop the motif to A minor 7, develop it back to E minor 7. Then we go to the final phase. We follow the chords C major 7, B7, and then we end the whole chorus with bringing in the motif again, and then the final phase to finish it. We just do on the B7, last B7. We finish the phrase just with a friggin' natural 3 run, or if you want, so a diminished arpeggio. And here again, if you wish, you can do alternate economy picking, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, if you want to do economy picking. So let's do the whole thing now, see how it works. And so on. Now you could continue the second chorus and somehow make a reference to the prior chorus, but this is enough for today. There's a lot of meat on this little sequence which I showed to you guys. Yo guys, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial here. Beautiful minor blues guitar licks. I already mentioned a few times during this tutorial, and I teach this every day to my students. The big difference between a guy who's noodling around on the fretboard or someone who's playing guitar is the mindset. So it's not a matter of playing fast. I mean, if you want, you can play fast, but if you miss the mindset, then this happens to you. Someone will say sounds nice, but it doesn't make any sense. So I mean, that's the good news for all beginners or all those players who are technically not so good. You know, it's not a technique doesn't mean that you play fast. Technique means that you're able to play the note you want at the right spot. So the whole mindset thing, which I was showing to you now, on this specific topic, that's what you have to train. And the good news is also when your mindset is trained well, you also get faster with playing because your whole system gets more relaxed and you feel the next note. I mean, I can share a little secret here. For me, it's really hard to sometimes, specifically on stuff which I'm just working on, if I teach it here on camera, the tutorials I'm doing are all first takes, so this has to be on spot. But if it's something which is not completely in my mindset, sometimes through the teaching, I drop out of the mindset and then I start to make these little fluffy mistakes, which I normally don't do when I'm fully playing on a live performance or so, because then you're completely focused that you work inside the mindset, and this makes you play faster and better, you know, even if you didn't train it. Yeah. So I really strongly recommend that you start working on stuff like that. This is for any level, of course. No complete beginners, of course, you need to know a little bit of theory and technique and stuff, but the main thing comes to the mindset. Yo, if you want to practice with this cool backing track and everything was too fast for you, Here are the tabs. They're also available as guitar profile. You can sync it with a backing track I created for you guys. It's all available in the HPCrazy guitar community. There you can download everything. You can also become a member there. And with a premium membership, you support the work which me and Dr. Pink are doing for the entire guitar community. And if you love the work which we're doing, please subscribe to this channel, share to the world that we exist, and please become a premium member. And that's it, more or less. See ya.